Yo, what's going on, guys? Today is Monday, the 8th of December, 2025. I'm going to be going over today's price action, what trades I ended up taking today. I only took one trade today, because I'm going to be sticking to the rules of one trade and done, because I feel like it makes sense for my model and how I trade. And yeah, I'm going to be going over what I was feeling going into today, what my bias was, and what trade I ended up taking. And I ended up taking one trade today. As you can see, we hit full take profit today, on this trade. So let's go over it. So if we want to go to replay, actually, I'll go back. Oh, where are we? Cool. Um, to before market open. Cool. So coming into today, I actually had a pretty bullish bias, very bullish bias actually coming into today. Reason why is because we had a clear market maker buy model, just like if you look at the screen here, just a vump, vump, very clear. We had clear draws on liquidity higher, being the previous day high, and we also had this unfilled daily fair value gap. We're delivering from sell side. We're respecting bullish PD rates, disrespecting bearish, literally disrespected every single bearish PD rate that left to us. Daily fair value gap inversed. 4 hour fair value gaps, all of them inversed. Everything inversed. Bing bang bong. Like, it was just a really simple bullish bias in my eyes, but market today said fuck your bullish bias. Yeah. Market was we were not bullish today. We were very bearish. Which was a surprise. But again, you just have to be reactive and never be married to your bias. Have your bias and have its reasoning for your bias, but also be reactive to what the market offers you, because you're not going your bias isn't going to be correct every day. But if an A plus model represents itself and in the opposite direction of your bias, and we're showing clear signs of being bearish, like we were today, and instead of bullish, well then that's okay. Like, I'm going to react to that. I'm going to react to what the market is offering me. But coming in today, I was bullish. So it's pretty simple for my conditions for today. Like, we had on ES, we had an unfilled 30-minute fair value gap right here. If I can actually zoom in on ES. Yeah, so we had this unfilled 30-minute fair value gap right here, and we also had this low right here. So what I was looking at for today was for like NQ to sweep this low, and for ES to tap into this unfilled 30-minute that I had, show signs of rejection, and then make a move higher. My draws on liquidity were previous day high, unfilled daily. So that was like option A. Option B was that we came down and we ended up sweeping out, if we swept out kind of the liquidity that Asia made right here, and then tapped into this, or swept out London lows, sorry, and then tapped into this 4 hour again and re-swept the low inside the 4 hour, then cool, I'd be all willing to take longs still off of that. And even though today I didn't, if we were going to be bullish, because I thought the bias was pretty clear, I didn't really want to see us come back into the 4 hour. The reasoning for that was pretty simple. It was because we had a SMT inside that 4 hour. So we fully filled the 4 hour fair value gap, as you can see. Well, basic, no, not really actually. We hit the C of it. ES fully filled it, and there was an SMT inside this gap. I think it was a hourly SMT inside the gap right here, I'm pretty sure. And we were expanding away from that. So it was like, yeah, cool. Like, we shouldn't really come back down there, to be honest. But again, I was still willing to take longs from there, because it can make sense. If you want to clear out all this liquidity and then reject off that 4 and make a move higher, then sure, I'd be still willing to take some longs from that. So cool. Let's get into market open. Again, we had like nice internal structure on the 5 minute here. Like, if we just, pretty simple, just sweep out this, get a higher time frame, get the highest time frame inversion within this lagged price, make a move higher. It would have been nice. That's what I was looking for today. But market open. So yeah, I wanted market open to open lower. So yeah, cool. Market did not open lower. Market opened higher, and we are basically sprinting towards my final draws on liquidity. So I was like, okay, cool. We're probably just going to take out my final draws on liquidity for today, and that's going to be that, and that just is what it is. But we ended up kind of leaving relative equal, not really relative equal highs, but we ended up coming close to previous day high, and then sort of, to be honest, just rejecting off nothing. I'm not going to lie. There was no fair value gaps within this leg. Everything to the left of us here was disrespected. There was no 30-minute, no 5 minute, no nothing. Like, we really rejected off nothing. The only thing I can see that we might have rejected off was this wick, previous day high wick, right here. But like, if we went way past like the C of it, this wick right here. So I guess, is what it is. Not really what I wanted to see. But again, didn't get married to a bias today and got reactive. So let's move forward. So coming down here, we ended up sweeping out London session liquidity, ended up kind of sweeping out the low that Asia put in as well on the 5 minute right here. And at this point, we were back inside the 4 hour, and we also had a higher time frame SMT. with ES taking out these lows right here. So I had this SMT marked in. So from here, I was still willing to take longs. I was looking at this 3 minute right here. I think it was a 3 minute inversion. Yeah, this 3 minute inversion right here. And I was like, if we displace cleanly through this 3 minute, I would be down to take this. Right. Like this was fine. Just to stop at these lows. If we displace through this 3 minute, that would have been a good trade. Break even point right here. I even have it marked out. I would 100% be down to take this. We ended up coming into this 3 minute and we actually ended up respecting this 3 minute. And we also put an SMT inside this 3 minute. So we had an SMT inside this 3 minute. We respected the 3 minute, did not displace through it at all, and ended up having a change in the state of delivery right here, and we ended up delivering lower. So at this point, I was like, okay, cool. My condition for this long and for us to be bullish here is not really playing out. So in this case, we are most likely going to be bearish instead for today. We also had super nice LRL as well on the 1 minute. Like we had a bunch of low resistance liquidity right here that was looking pretty touchable, if I do say so myself. All right. But again, there was actually a nice short here that I know a few people took, this 3 minute SMT and then a CISD down. I think it could have been the first one. I think we had an SMT right here as well, and some people took this inversion and then got stop hunted. But this wasn't good enough for me, to be honest. In conditions like this, I want to see at least a 5 minute form. I want to see at least a bearish 5 minute form or a bearish 50 minutes. So 5 minute at minimum to form here, so we can retrace to and then reject out of. But there was just no fair value. Like there was no 5 minute fair value gap here. There was no 15 minute. There was no nothing really. So I didn't like it. It wasn't an A plus setup for me, and I wouldn't have taken it on any day, to be honest. So we ended up delivering lower here again. So at this point, I think ES inversed like every single gap to the left of it. It inversed like the 4 hour fair value gap, the 1 hour that was like lower here, and this is just low resistance liquidity down here as well. There's low resistance liquidity right here. That ES looked like it was hunting for. My final draw on liquidity for bearish price action for today was this this wick here. So this big candle right here, I think ES ended up taking that shit out. It did end up taking that out. And that was my final draw on liquidity for ES in specific, because ES was the leading, was the weaker asset, you could say, but the stronger like delivery. It was way ahead of NQ. So what I ended up taking was right here. So we opened up a 5 minute bearish fair value gap, and we ended up leaving relative equal lows with this low right here inside this gap. So I was like, okay, cool. And we left relative equal lows. Well, they're relative, I guess they're relative, but it was way more, because if we go, this is like 1025, I think it was. So 1025, 1020. Yeah, so ES ended up leaving relative equal lows with my final draw on liquidity for bearish price action, which was this low right here. So at this point, I was like, cool. We opened up a bearish 5 minute. ES just left relative equal lows after inversing all these gaps to the left of us and clearing out all this liquidity. There's no way it's not going to take this low in my eyes. Like this is the obvious draw, low hanging fruit in my eyes. So we opened up a 5 minute. We retraced back into the 5 minute. Now at this point, I was like, cool. My condition for this, now this was like my final condition, was like, if we respect this 5 minute and then get an inversion out of it, I will take that, because it just this looks good. You have a 5 minute fair value gap, retrace into it, reject out of it, relative equal lows on both pairs, clear draw lower. The draw is free. Like the draw was free in my eyes, especially after this dump, which I wasn't expecting for today. But again, being reactive, not going to get married to a bias. So I was like, cool, we retrace into this 5 minute, and then we opened up this 2 minute fair value gap. And now at this point, I was like, if we inverse this 5 minute, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to be finished for today. I don't want to trade any of this if we do that, because that's enough for me today. I don't want to see us inverse this 5 minute after leaving out these lows right here and just have no fair value really above us except for low resistance liquidity. I'm chilling. I was going to hop off after that. But what I did say then is, if we displace through this 2 minute nicely, that would show that this 5 minute is holding and being respected, and we inverse the 2 minute, clear draws lower. Cool, I'll take that. That'll be my final thing for today. So we ended up displacing through that, and I ended up entering shorts right here. I was liking this, pretty good displacement. We ended up respecting it, and this is what I noticed as well can happen a lot, is we can come into a fair value gap first, then we can respect it. But if we don't end up moving above the high here after, so for example, this height right here, if we don't end up moving above that high after respecting a fair value gap, and then we inverse it on the next candle, that just shows that it's basically being disrespected, because it's not playing its role. Because for us to come into a fair value gap like this, respect it, we should make a move higher, right? But we didn't make a move higher. So I like this displacement right through it. Right after, I was like, cool, I'm a fan of this. I will take this. So I ended up taking this. 20 point stop loss, 47 point take profit. Break even was pretty simple, just at this internal low. Again, could have targeted the final draw for NQ for today, and this also was pretty close. Like, it was basically the same with ES. But I was like, cool, I'll just target this, get my piece of the pie and get out. Just target this, even though it was only like 6 points ahead of it. But it's like, why would I risk 6 points when this is the obvious play to me right now? So I ended up entering shorts on that 2 minute fair value gap, and we ended up kind of consolidating a little bit. And then this is where I also moved my stop loss. So we ended up opening this 3 minute fair value gap, and then we ended up coming into it and respecting it. So at this point, I ended up trading my stop loss to this, because it just made sense to me. Like, again, I didn't go break even. Well, technically, it's like, well, it was like $50 into break even or something. But I was like, cool. If we're after opening up this 3 minute and respecting it and delivering lower, I do not want to see price come back up here. At this point, if price did come back up here and resweep this high or take out this high that was in this 3 minute, I wouldn't even want to be in the trade anymore. So cool, I was break even or trailed my stop a tiny bit there to that 3 minute high, and then we just ended up delivering through that right after. So yeah, of course it ended up taking out this draw as well, but again, not going to risk it. Just going to take my trade, piece of the pie, and get out. What's obvious to me. And yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. Nothing really else, just a 5 minute continuation model to the downside with clear draws lower, and I was liking how ES left relative equal lows with my final draw down here. I think it was, hold on. Yeah, I was liking the way ES left relative equal lows here. It's just like, there's no way it doesn't take that. Like, it's super, super obvious to me. So get a continuation model to the downside here again, I'd be 100% down staking. That's exactly what we did today. And then I think we ended up delivering a good bit lower. So the bullish bias was, yeah, definitely incorrect for today. I think we did have a decent retrace higher. Yeah, right here. Ended up having a decent retrace higher here, which is like now or by the end of the market, I guess. But yeah, the bullish bias was not correct for today. But again, like, your bias isn't always going to be correct. It's okay to be wrong, but again, I was reactive today. Didn't get married to it, and stayed patient for my setup, my A plus continuation model to present itself, and I ended up taking it, and that's it. One trade, and yeah, pretty simple. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. My Discord, Instagram, TikTok is going to be in the description below. If you guys want to add me on Discord or DM me on any of those platforms, ask me any questions, I will 100% answer them. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next trade recap, which I will be uploading tomorrow. Hopefully the rest of December, well, to be honest, December isn't the best month now. I've backtested December for the past 2 years as well. It's never really a great month of price action, because it's December, it's Christmas, busiest time of the year. Everybody taking their money to buy things for presents and decorations and all that jazz. It's probably the biggest money spending time of the year. So the price action is never really that good in September, which is why risk will be the same, honestly. Some of the evaluations, the risk will be the same, but again, only taking A plus setups that are obvious to me. So yeah, it's gonna be it for today's recap, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.